Hey guys, it's Kyle. Thanks for tuning in. Here's a scenario. We just got a client who wants to spend $50 to promote a grand opening in their restaurant for 2 weeks. So we're gonna pretend like we're um, working with that client, and I'm just gonna take you through exactly what I would do. Right? You should not have to pay someone to do a $50 campaign for you, and if you are, you're wasting money. The hardest part about running these campaigns is just getting this thing set up. So let's talk through really quick. If you're already set up through business.facebook.com, which is different, you cannot access it through, and is different than facebook.com, just regular Facebook. Okay, this is the back end of Facebook for businesses. Okay, so check out business.facebook.com. There's four things you need to do. First thing you need to do, create a business manager account. So if you don't see this screen, that's probably because you either haven't created a business manager account or not done one of the other three things on this list. Create a business manager account different than, again, your Facebook page, facebook.com business page. You've already created that, but this is something totally different. This is how your business is operating on the back end of Facebook. Okay, it's required for you to run big kid ads back here on the back end of Facebook instead of just boosting posts. Second thing you need to do is attach yourself to it if it's not already done immediately. So for me, I went ahead and used kyle@stolengroundmedia.com when I set this up, so that's what it automatically populated. You can also add like a personal Facebook or a personal email address or a partner or an employee's email address. You can add that here, 100 people. So go ahead and do that too. The third thing you need to do is attach your business page to it. Okay, so for me, I've got my own stolenground.com page. That's your facebook.com page, the one that you've already set up on the front end of Facebook. Okay, you'll attach that here, and then you'll attach or create an ad account. Okay, and that enables you to run ads. So that has to do with your billing, your spending limits, things like that. So you'll need to add an ad account as well. So those are the four things you need to start running ads. Then you should be somewhat on this screen. So follow me over here to Ads Manager. This is where we're going to create our ad. All right. So again, we've got a $50 campaign total. You've got our three sections here. We won't get into this. We'll get into this in another video for reporting. For our purposes, though, make sure you're under the Campaigns tab, okay, and hit the green Create button. All right. Now, a little bit about restaurants and how we're going to choose this marketing objective. I'm going to choose awareness, and I'll tell you why in a second. Awareness is the top of funnel, considerations is the middle of funnel, conversions is the bottom funnel in the sales funnel, okay, in marketing. Um, Restaurants tend to do best with awareness because most of their conversions, which are just actions that they want consumers to take, happen in store. So this awareness helps us to drive foot traffic into the restaurants. We can also do a middle of funnel technique, but a lot of this has to do with sending users to the website. So if your website's in great shape and you want to use retargeting or you want to do something with analytics on your website, that middle of funnel is great too. A lot of restaurants don't want to even mess with that. They just want people walking in the door or people to know their name. So we're going to do awareness for that reason. And I'll spare you the details between these two. We'll get into that in a different video. I'm going to choose reach for today. Okay, and reach is going to essentially highlight as many people as possible within our demographics and our location targeting. And we're going to get as many of those people as possible to know who we are, okay, or at least to see our ad. So I'll name this a reach campaign hyphen restaurant hyphen 8/18 through September 1. I'll just say 9. Come on, 20. There we go. All right. You can do an A/B test if you want to up front. Usually I'll just run this first ad for a week and then select my A/B test based on the results there. We want this to optimize budgets across ad sets. What that means is essentially you can create more than one ad set under this campaign umbrella. So essentially it would look like campaign, ad set 1, ad set 2, ad set 3. And then beneath each of those ad sets, you've got your ad, under this ad set, ad, under this ad set, ad. Make sense? So when you optimize across ad sets, that means Facebook is selecting the best performing ad set, the one that shows to the most people in this case, maximum number of people, shows to the most people, and it's highlighting the budget for that ad set. Okay. Usually, if we do multiple ad sets, we're changing something like audience. Okay. how broad we're targeting, how narrow we're targeting, things like that. You set a daily budget, but I like to set a lifetime budget. Our lifetime budget is $50. They start you out at $700, just like a bunch of buttholes, right? Because like what we want you to spend at least $700 with Facebook, so we're just gonna put that in there. It makes you feel like crap, but that's okay. We're gonna do 50. And I think you can go as low as like $2. Problem with going super low like that is they'll make you only run it for like a day. So that'll be the constraint that you deal with later. So we'll leave it at lowest cost bid strategy. Again, we'll get into these different bid strategies in a different episode. You can choose ad scheduling immediately if you want to. Again, I like to wait, see how the ad performs in the first week or so, and then potentially add some ad scheduling. So that's our campaign selections. Now we're in the ad set level. Okay. Again, you can make multiple of these ad sets within one campaign. And that's likely what we'll do again after the first week. So we'll call this one restaurants broad, because this ad set is going to be our kind of broad audience. So we'll select the Facebook page. For me, I'm just going to use Stolen Ground Media as an example. You can use custom audiences or saved audiences. We won't get into that right now. For now, we'll just assume that we're going to create a totally new one. Okay. So that's where we're on right now, create new audience. Location. I live in Cincinnati, and I only want people living in this location. You can do living in or recently in, traveling in this location. If you have a preference, maybe your restaurant specifically caters to out-of-towners. That's a destination spot within whatever location you're in. You might want to select that one, or you want only people who are here right now. For me, I like people who are living in this location. Even when it comes to restaurants, maybe you can make the argument that recently in this location is better, but I like living in this location. Especially since this is running for 2 weeks. It's not really a blast campaign. That would probably work better for the other option. So, again, I live in Cincinnati, so we're going to type in Cincinnati. And you can use the DMA region. I like to use the city and a radius. So we'll say within 15 miles of Cincinnati. That's all we want to target. And that's targeting downtown Cincinnati. The reason I don't want to use the Cincinnati DMA is here. Let's add it in. It just gets really, really broad. So from down here, you're probably looking at maybe like an hour up to our restaurant, and I just don't think that's worth it. So we're going to just leave off DMA. We'll do the radius, and I think that's going to work better. So for this restaurant, we'll say we only want 21 up because we've got drinks there. We don't want people in there necessarily who can't drink. Or at least we don't want to spend money on them advertising to them. We'll do both genders. And then for our targeting, let's just say that our restaurant is by a college campus. So we want to highlight college students, maybe some professors as well, but we'll just say college students. So we'll say some college. Oh, there was in college. I like that one. We'll do in college. And I'm seeing these for the first time as I'm building this out because I want you to see exactly how it goes down. So we'll type in college again, college grad, maybe college football, basketball, college application. Maybe we'll look at people who are applying to college too. This does not mean high school students, by the way, college application, because we've already qualified that they have to be 21 up. Okay. So potentially, if there's a high school in town and that person hasn't graduated at 21 years old, then maybe we'll show an ad to them, but that's few and far between. You can also exclude people, so you can exclude high school students if they're interested. Some high school. That means people are in high school, right? You could exclude, I don't know, maybe income in the top 10%. How do I get to that? 10%. It's in here. We'll leave that off for now. So maybe it's not available for exclude people, but it's definitely available here. Let me pull it up. Income. There you go. These four are available for just include those. So we'll say maybe we include just the top 50%. That means we add all of these. And that way they don't necessarily have to be in college. But if they're not in the top 50% of income, then they are definitely interested or are in college right now. So that's why we're using a broad audience. So we've got that top 50%. We don't want people who are in high school. And you'll see we still have 310,000 people we can reach to. Okay, 310,000 people we want to see our ad, and that will be 945 to 2,700 people daily using our budget. Okay, using all languages, all connections. For our placements, we'll go ahead and use automatic placements. That means that Facebook decides where we show our ads. You can switch to manual placements if you'd like. I like to let it optimize for the first week, but if you knew you didn't want to show on Instagram, or you knew you didn't want to show on Facebook, or if you really hated, Facebook stories or Instagram stories, and you don't want to show ads on there, you think they're tacky, you can just uncheck the boxes, and you're good. But again, we'll just go ahead and do automatic placements for now. Like Google Optimize. Again, we're optimizing for reach, and we've got our schedule, start and end date 18th through what I say September 1st. And since we're professionals, we'll do 12 a.m. and we'll end on 11:59 p.m. There you go. I guess we'll restart our start date to now, since it's 11:02 when I'm recording this. Okay. We'll also set a frequency cap. So this is nice about the reach campaign strategy. So I mentioned there's those three parts of the funnel and there's strategies associated with each. Specifically with this top of funnel strategy and reach, you can set a frequency cap, which is how many times the person sees the impression, okay, or sees the ad over a period. So for this example, the default is 1 impression every 7 days. Now I think that's not quite enough. For me, I like to see around 5 impressions every day. That's a frequency cap for me. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to show 5 impressions every day. And on a reach campaign, it probably won't. You're more likely to have those results on the other broad bid strategy, the brand awareness strategy. That was the other of the two on that top of funnel campaign strategy. But we're going to just set it this way: 5 impressions every 1 day, and it probably won't show that much to a single person. One thing I like to do too on other bid strategies, if you're using the middle of funnel or the bottom of funnel, see if you can get charged per click. I come from a PPC background, so it's more comfortable for me to get charged per click, but it also just turns out every time that I've done it, and so there's no empirical evidence. There's just the evidence that I have from what I've been doing. Um, you can just get more impressions and more clicks that way. And I recommend paying per click at every option or at every chance you get. It just seems to perform better. You get more quality clicks, and you get more clicks in general. It's just a better option. So for this campaign strategy, we can't, but that's okay because the value of doing this campaign strategy outweighs the need to pay per click. So now we're on the ad level. And I can change the ad name, and I probably will. If I'm making multiple ads especially, I'll go ahead and identify them. So this one, it would be number 1, but I would come up with something like, if I'm changing the photo in the creative, so this photo down here, right here, then I'll describe this as, man on ledge up here. Man on ledge. And I'll be able to identify each ad separately as I'm going to report. Okay. This won't be a man on the ledge, but we'll just leave that the name. Okay. So again, we've got a restaurant. Now it's best to use media, all right, that comes from your personal, for your own business's portfolio. Okay, so we'd like to see pictures of your actual business, but if you can't, that's okay. I've gone ahead and saved and uploaded an image I found here on Pexels. Pexels.com is a great resource for free pictures. You just type in restaurant, and it comes up with all these different restaurant images, and they're great for advertisements. This is the one I found. I like this one the best. It looks crowded. There people are drinking. Just something that I'd want to be a part of if I was a consumer. So we're going to select this one. We'll roll with that for now. You could do up here, if you're looking at carousel, you could do a carousel ad. essentially is exactly like it looks right here. So you've got a specific piece of creative here, and then another piece of creative here, and then another piece of creative here. And I don't generally use carousels simply because I could just add more ads under this ad set and achieve kind of the same result. With a carousel, if you've got, they're great for things like a menu. If you say, if your ad copy is something like, check us out, we just opened up, view our menu, scroll through our menu uh, below. Then you've got a carousel ad with all of your different menu items. That's great for it. Otherwise, I would rather use multiple ads. A/B test that way. I don't really need the audience to see all of my ads at once. But test it out if you think it's going to work for you, and maybe you can prove me wrong. If so, let me know in the comments. So for our primary text, switch it up. Again, we're using Stolen Ground Media as start default page. You would use your own restaurant's page here. Primary text will say, join us now through um, September 1st for our grand opening celebration. And our short call to action is going to be, see you there. Okay, we'll use a website URL. It doesn't make sense not to use one. And for our purposes, since we're sending people to Stolen Ground's Facebook page, we'll just use one of my blog posts I did recently. If you haven't checked it out, 7 steps to pack your restaurant with the internet. So that has to do with getting people to that middle and lower funnel that we were talking about when we were looking at the campaign objectives. I'll help you do that. So we'll just send them to that URL. Okay, display link will just say stolengroundmedia.com. This display link you can shorten, but you cannot change from the base here. So stolengroundmedia.com has to be in there. You could do stolengroundmedia.com/2020 or something like that if you want, or HTTPS Stolen Media if you want to do that. I tend to avoid that stuff. I just do Stolen Media. Okay, so headline. For a headline, we'll say something like, well, headline's a great place for an offer. So we'll just pretend we have an offer. So $1 off. Um, um, time at $1 off any check worth $20 or more. Offer valid. This is important, or they'll sue. No, sometimes that does happen though. Offer valid through September 1st. Make sure you cover your butt there. Make your offer valid. Obviously, a lot of that stuff gets cut off here, unless you're on the desktop view or something that's got an expanded version of this. We'll go ahead and do a call to action button. I found that call now works great for restaurants. And we'll just type in a random phone number. So 859-384-0707. That was my first phone number at my parents' old house, and it is not active anymore, so don't call it. All right. But don't tell Facebook or they'll cancel my app. Okay, so we've got our ad here, and I think we are ready to launch. If you want to track it via conversions, set up your Facebook pixel. I always recommend doing this. My Facebook pixel is not active because my WordPress website is not the business plan. It's a premium plan. So I can attach Google Analytics to it, but I can't attach a Facebook pixel to it. So if you do have a great WordPress website and a plan that allows you to definitely set up this conversion tracking pixel and track your conversions. So online events that happen on your website. For me, that would be Stolen Ground, something like people that contact me. Okay, people that fill this out and hit submit. Boom! I want to know that happens every time this ad shows, and that'll enable you to do that. So we're ready to launch. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or shoot me an email on my Get in Touch page, and I can track that via my personal tracking. And I hope this helps, guys. Thanks again for watching. Check out more of our content if you can, and hope to see you around the website. Thanks, guys.